What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Charlie's Cook Line. I'm Charlie, and this kitchen is my cook line. On today's episode, we are deboning a whole turkey. Thanksgiving is next week. If you're watching this on the day it drops, Thanksgiving is in a week, and I'm gonna show you my preferred way to prepare turkey. And it's a cold morning in LA County. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it.
You'll love to see it.
That's why I'm all kitted up in a beanie and my sweater. It's cold inside this house, so I'm gonna debone this turkey with sleeves on. Grab ourselves a pair of gloves, and this turkey is slippery, so the gloves will give us some extra traction while we're holding on to this bird. And realize I don't have my filleting knife. We're gonna use the 9-inch chef's knife. Grab yourself a roll of paper towels or any kind of napkin. So we are working with a 19.99 pound bird. It came frozen, so it's been defrosting in the refrigerator for about a week. All right, let me show you guys what we have going on in here. This is a bag of giblets. You gotta really get in there into the turkey's cavity and make sure you've taken out all the bags of giblets. Sometimes they come with 2, and other times they hide it here in the neck cavity. So you want to search there as well. I can't tell you how many times I've baked the whole turkey, sliced into it, only to find another bag of giblets stuffed all the way up in there. Okay, so the surface of this bird is mostly dry. This is different from my chicken episode because we're trying to keep the skin intact so that we can roll it up into a nice boneless turkey tendy. So there are many ways of doing this. Some people start from the backbone. I like to start from the breastbone. When I roll and debone my turkey, I separate the wings. And this year I'm gonna separate the drums as well because I'm gonna pressure cook these guys. Because as you know, they have a lot of connective tissue, ligaments and such. And very similarly to our chicken episode, we're just gonna use our knife to get in between the joints. We're not cutting through any actual bone. And now I'm gonna cut into the breast. So you wanna feel around, look for that chest cavity. Make a shallow cut, just really work your way down this breastbone. And we wanna be careful not to cut into the skin too much because that's gonna be what holds this whole bird together. Really simple, just taking your time, no rush. We got a week before Thanksgiving. So as you guys might already know, you need a sharp knife to do this. Otherwise, your edge is just gonna slide around on that skin. If you run into any connective tissue, just take your time. We are looking good so far. All right, at this point, we've got our chest cavity entirely exposed. I want to remove the drumsticks from our turkey. So we're gonna make a shallow cut into the skin. And just like my chicken breakdown episode, turkeys also have this line of fat that you can follow to find joints and the separate muscle groups. So I'm just gonna get in here and cut along that line until I expose the joint. I'm not gonna force the knife into the joint. I'm just gonna twist this leg until you hear a pop. If you don't quite get there yet, that's fine. Take your knife and just cut away at the meat until you expose that joint. There we go. All right, now we go for the pop again. Whew. It's 3 years of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was worth it. One drum done, put that aside. Shallow cut right into that flag. Oh, on this side, we got it straight on. Nice. There we go. second drumstick. Much easier than first. Okay, now we're gonna cut back the skin a little bit so that the breast can fall open. And we wanna separate the thigh meat from the thigh bone. This part you wanna be extra gentle. You don't wanna cut through the thigh meat and pierce the skin on the other side. Nice. And then we just want to roll that joint out of the socket. Add this to our pile of bones for roasting, and now we work on the opposite side. I see you, joint. There we go. Ta-da. All right, now the tricky part. We are just gonna cut along the rib cage here, going very slowly, because this is the part where, oh God, I'm like, what the heck is that? We're gonna work our way into the joint with our knife, very gently. Add this guy to our roasting pile. I'm kind of just using gravity to help me separate this joint. Just like that. Looking good on both sides. Now, it makes more sense. You're just gonna run your knife along the rib cage until we separate the back skin from the turkey. You can see here, there's not much meat on this side, so there's only very little room for error. So we're just taking our time, making small cuts, minimizing our mistakes. And you know what, if you do cut through, it's all good because we're gonna use some butcher's twine to roll this up and hold it together anyway. Again, I'm lifting up the chest cavity and letting gravity do most of the work. I'm just tracing here with the tip of my knife, and the meat is falling off of the carcass. Occasionally you'll run into a piece of tendon, but that's okay. If your knife is sharp, cut right through that. Mike, are you okay? Uh-oh, little accident. This section right here, right above the thigh, is the most tender portion of turkey. Everybody fights over the skin. I fight over what's called the oyster. You guys might have seen it in a little piece of fried chicken on the thigh. You get that little piece of meat that's almost in a spoon-shaped bowl, and that is the most tender and delicious, meaty portion of the turkey, in my opinion. Okay, so here we go. Slowly working our way around the bird still. We just take our time, don't rush. We get caught up right up here in this area because of the wishbone. To remedy that, I just pull it off very simply. And look, our turkey is separated from the carcass. Oyster's gone. Yeah, the oyster is in this area right here. So now, our bones are aside. So our back skin is mostly intact, not entirely, but that's all good. And what I do is I separate this portion of the turkey breast, because when we roll it up, we want it to look even and nicely cylindrical. I cut off the tender and stuff it right here with the thigh. Like that. So that the legs, or the dark meat, fold up inward like that, and like that. And then really simply, you grab our twine, get it underneath here, tie it up, and you've got a fully deboned turkey. So let me get a new pair of gloves, and I'll show you my recipe for a dry brine. Get a fresh tray on here, and we're gonna transfer our turkey roll well, not quite a roll yet, our turkey blob onto the new roasting pan. Now that that's aside, I'm gonna clean up this work area a little bit so that we can get our dry brine ingredients together. Okay, dry brine, really simple. It's mostly salt and pepper, and you want to make more dry brine than you think you need because it's gonna come off when you put it on the bird anyway. So that's about a half cup of salt. It's sea salt, so it looks like a lot more. And I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons of sugar. Peter, I'm gonna shout you out every time we break out the pepper mill. If you guys are new to the channel, Peter is a really good friend of mine, US veteran. Show him some love. He gifted me with this awesome pepper mill. And right here, I've got some garlic powder. That's it. Really simple ingredients. I'm going for a very simple dry brine. Sorry, I'm concentrating on this very ASMR spice mix right now. Okay, now I'm going heavy on the skin side and not so heavy on the meat side because these are exposed protein fibers and they will hold on to seasoning and much more aggressively than the outside. And now this is going to stay dry brining in the refrigerator overnight before I rinse off all the excess salt and stuff it. We use all that goodness. You should cover the entire bird. Gloves coming off again. That's 3 pairs of gloves already in this one episode. So wasteful. All right, so there's our bird, dry brined and ready to be stuffed and rolled. Now it's time to clean this area up. Kissa makes this pet safe, child safe sanitizing spray out of Castile soap, a little bit of vinegar, and baking soda. And I use that on all my food preparation surfaces. If you're gonna use like a chemical Lysol type spray or even a bleach solution, before you prepare any more food on that surface, you gotta give it at least 4 hours to dry up and dissolve. Otherwise it could make you sick. Or if you have a kid in the house, it could make them sick. Whoever you're preparing food for, don't want to get them sick. There we go. Cool. Well, that's it, guys. We didn't do any real cooking today, just a lot of preparation for Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't already done so, like the channel. The other way around. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and it would really do me a huge favor and the channel a big favor if you shared this video with your family. If you're not already following me on Instagram, my user handle is @CharlieTuna, 2NAH. Follow me there so you can see me roll up this bird for Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's a little too soon to make the stuffing and stuff the bird. So if you want to see that done live, follow me on Instagram. Love you guys. I'll see you on next week's episode. It's gonna be a good one. My brothers are gonna join me and they're gonna help make Thanksgiving, and those guys don't cook. So, gonna have my hands full. Love you guys. See you then.